Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, we're gonna talk about hate. Hate, hate, hate. I remember Dave Chappelle, he talked about that. Just hating. Just everybody hate for no reason. Hate themselves, hate each other, hate everything on the planet. Just hating for no reason. Don't even understand why. But just hate. I understand why. I'm gonna explain to you guys why there's so much hate in the world. Why people continue to hate and can't live with themselves because they have so much hate. Y'all stay tuned. All right, man. We got so much hate in this world. I don't understand. But I do understand one thing why we have so much hate. Because we hate ourselves, man. You just wish that you could be somebody else. A lot of us, not everybody. But some people just are so envious and hate so much because they can't do what they can do. But have you ever tried doing what you can do? Have you ever tried doing something different? Have you ever tried working with that group of people? Have you ever tried talking to those individuals? Or do you just prefer to be ignorant? See, ignorant is bliss, that's what they say. But ignorance don't matter to me. If you're ignorant, there's no excuse. If you have opportunity to learn, to change your mindset, to change the way you think, then you should do it. The mind is very, very, very powerful. See, the mind helps change the heart. And if the mind can't change, then the heart is subject to blackening more and more every day. And just like, what are you feeding yourself? What are you feeding your soul? Some of y'all hate yourself so much that you are gluttons. Some of you hate yourselves so much that you were like me at one time, a hoe. Some of you guys hate yourself so much that you drink yourself into oblivion. Some of you guys hate yourself so much that you can't even see yourself. And when you look at yourself in the mirror, you just hate that person that you see because it reminds you of somebody else. You can't help how you look. You can't help where you come from. But what you can do and help and change is what you do, the decisions you make. I know I got friends. I've been in conversation with people who have been slighted in their life, who didn't have, you can see and clearly see that they were in a disadvantaged position. And they've been put down over and over and over and over again. And when they stand up, they get put down again. And when they try to stand up, somebody trips them up again. And when they just crawling, somebody trips them again. Put all the roadblocks in their way, and they just like, I just can't do it. I can't seem to catch a break. So guess what happens to those individuals? They turn to hate. And they start by hating themselves first. See, when you are a hateful person or you're a racist person, a lot of times you can just look at yourself or look at the situation around you, the people that raised you, and you can just point to them and say, that's why I'm there. Now, that only lasts for so long because when you become an accountable adult and even a teenager at times, and you're able to have your own thought, your own mind, then you have to change your mind in the way you see the world. That's why I always love the military, because it helps break away the stereotypes. It helps changes the narrative of how you thought the world turned. It helps you see the world in a bigger way. And I wish everybody could voluntarily go to the military for 2 years. I wish everybody could put in 2 years to the military so they could see how the world is actually different than how you perceive it. Not just what you see on TV, not what you hear in the media, not what you hear from other people around you, but when you actually see it for yourself and how the world actually turned, and you see the actual evil in the world, and you see the actual good in the world, and it changes your perspective. And that's how I became patriotic, because I see that even if the evil, even as America has done evil on us and other people in this world, they have liberated more people in this world. America has been unjust. Haven't you? Haven't you judged people before you truly known them? Haven't you done things to yourself before you have truly given yourself a chance to know who you are as a person? That hate that we give is what tears us down. And that's what I see in America right now. The hate for one another, the hate for ideas. How can we hate ideas? Most ideas are good ideas. They help bring us up. But there are bad ideas, and we have to root those out. We have to plug them out and throw them away and try again. But one thing we can't do is hate. If we hate each other, we can never grow. You can't, if you continue to hate your kids, you continue to hate yourself, you'll never be what you want to be. And you'll push your kids down so far that they'll leave and escape you. Because hate is a vile thing. It's a nasty thing. It's a thing that if you give it, it's going to give it back tenfold. And you've seen it. I've seen it. Those people who hate, they never have good lives. Matter of fact, they always take their life. And they don't have to be just suicide, but they take their lives through drugs and escape this world and through all different types of avenues. So when you give hate, think about it. Think about how can you not do this thing? How can you change the narrative? I always talk about community, family, narratives, yourself, mindset, because that's what matters. The mind is the most powerful thing you have. Ask Xavier X and X-Men. If you don't know who that is, Professor X, he controlled things with his mind. He could see his mind was powerful. And that was a great illustration of how powerful the mind can be once you learn how to control it. Just like the movie Limitless with Bradley Cooper. He used drugs to open up his mind and became a millionaire. He did all these things. Now, all of it wasn't good, but the point of it is the mind. The more hate you give, the less your mind grows. The more hate you give, the less wrinkles you see in your brain. Because you're just full of hate. You can't even see straight. You're blind, walking with eyes that can see because of the hate. And that's what we experience in America. Now, one thing that bothers me about hate, and a lot of people in my community, I know we want to point out the hate, and we should point out the hate because if something isn't right, we have to point it out. But one thing we cannot do is fight hate with hate. We have to fight hate with love. Now, I know that sounds cheesy, but it's the truth. We can't help to change anything until we first change ourselves. We can't help the community until we can first realize how the community works. And the community only works with love and respect of each and every single person in it. Community only works with respect for laws and understanding how laws work and benefit us and our community. We only can get better and grow once we understand economics. And how we understand economics is gain knowledge. And those people with the knowledge don't just continually show hate and the injustices of the world, but show the love that exists in the world too. Show both. This is what we do when we strive for greatness, and this is what we do when we continue to hate ourselves. Because I hate that. I hate to see people in my community that so-called should be pillars, I guess, for some folks, but they only show the hate. They only show the malice. They only show the things that only create more hate for them. You know, it's like you see people that put things out there, and yeah, we know people make all kind of mistakes. Some people do things on purpose. But continue to push those subjects without any plan to change it only destroys the very fabric that we're trying to repair. It only destroys it, tears it apart. Then we can never come on the same page or never get to an agreement because we only show hate. That's what I want to talk about and change is the hate that we give. You can't say that you for good and you want to see change, you stand for justice, but then you're showing hate yourself. And you might not be saying it, but you're showing it. And then some of y'all are saying it and showing it, but you say you won't change. Yeah, you're going to get change with hate, but it won't be the change that you want. There's going to be some hateful stuff going on, and it's going to create a greater divide. Now, you standing over there, I'm standing over here, and nothing's changed. Only hate. So for my community specifically, let's continue to grow. Let's continue to grow together. And then once we go together, other people be willing to work with you. And then you got to be able to work with yourselves first. Because it's not about skin color. We just need everybody to create a better world. But we do start with ourselves first. That is the movement. That is the move. Start with yourself first. All right? Hey, this is the Red Tape Podcast. I'm your host, Demerious Nelson. This is brought to you by For the One Media, where we move progressively forward in a conservative way. I think it's very important, guys, that y'all take a look at yourself, take a look at the hate that we have in the world, and figure out a way to change it, man. Because if we don't, we're only choking ourselves out. If we don't, we're only destroying the very America that we love. The only reason why you're able to speak freely is because of these laws that are in place to protect our rights. The only way you can do whatever you want to do is because of the laws that we have and the free will of choice. So let's not abuse it. Let's not continue to hate. Let's continue to grow so we can rise like mountains instead of fall. All right? I don't know what I was saying, guys. I thought I was going to have a great quote at the end, but I just blew it. So I just got silent. So I'm going to holler at y'all. Peace.